So that's right, I had the chance to actually play Anthem and have some sweet hands-on time with the game. So I'm going to go over all the details, my first initial impressions about the game, and what you can expect from this game. And let me tell you what, it was a ton of freaking fun. And yes, the game is absolutely stunning. We were running it on PC. It was definitely ultra settings, so I was like, I think I'm going to be getting this game on PC. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into those details. But hey guys, what's up? It is Robbie here with Open World Games, and I hope you guys are doing good today. So yeah, EA flew me and my twin bro Ryan out to check out Anthem. They paid for our hotel. Special thanks to them for doing that. We really appreciated it for sure. So, yeah, sat down, grabbed the Xbox One controller, and began playing Anthem. And immediately, it felt so good. You know, you see a lot of these videos on YouTube and elsewhere of Anthem in action, and you think, man, that looks really, really cool. And then you actually play and you start realizing how good the controls actually are. You know, I did play a lot of the Mass Effect games, and I felt like their controls improved time and time again as I played those games, and it's definitely true with Anthem. And I did get to play the mission that you did get to see from the E3 presentation, and we did actually also get to sit in on a private viewing, which was a more extensive viewing of that demonstration. And let me tell you what, they showed a lot of really cool stuff. They did show some things beyond what you saw with this stronghold going in here. As you can see, the Colossus taking down these mines. But they did go and show like the full map and stuff like that. And it looked like the game is absolutely huge. This is just a small slice of what you can expect from Anthem, of course. But yeah, I was extremely impressed with the actual controls themselves because I was wondering how this game actually did feel. And it feels like a proper action game. And one of the moves that I love, and you saw it there, especially with the Ranger, is going in, you can fly. There's two flying modes, by the way. So you click the stick, you go into full-blown flying, and then you can click the right stick and you go into hover mode, and you are building up this meter at the bottom. You can see it there. It's a white meter, and it's telling you, hey, you're about to overheat your jetpacks, your engine, so you have been warned. So you just can't basically infinitely fly around all you want. You have to be mindful of that. You have to be really, really careful, or you may just end up dropping right on an enemy. But if you are above enemies, you can press Y, at least on the Xbox controller, and you can engage through an epic dive-bombing melee move. It was my favorite move throughout the entire experience. You know, doing a guerrilla warfare type tactic where you can go into the air, hover, then, you know, do a dive bomb into melee and cause major, massive damage. With the Ranger, he had some sort of electrical melee move, which was freaking awesome and just spread out everywhere. So that was really, really cool. But the important thing isn't just to get in there and go crazy. It's important to work with your team because everyone has different javelins. You know, there's 4 different javelin classes. You've got the Ranger, the Interceptor, the Colossus, and then, of course, the other one, which is Storm. I just remembered it. Bam, got it. So yeah, Storm, and each one of them have their own unique abilities, of course. So you really want to work together and work up what is called combos. So these combos can be activated through different types of, you know, effects. So, for example, I could throw out a grenade as a Ranger, which freezes an enemy. So it causes freezing damage, which will initiate the ability, to cause a combo. So if someone came in and they did their move on top of the freezing grenade, they can initiate, you know, perhaps double the damage, for example. So those things are super important to really communicate with your team and work out those combos. And then, of course, you have the Colossus. I think the Colossus will be a fan favorite for sure because of his firepower. We were in the caves facing off against the brain bug, I call him. The bug that you see here, the big creature near the tail end of the demonstration in the cave, reminding me so much of Starship Troopers, especially also the underlings nearby, and I love that movie, of course. But yeah, I saw a bunch of rockets coming in, just annihilating this huge creature, and it was the Colossus, and it was absolutely insane. Now, you saw that in the demonstration, they ignored that huge Titan-like creature there. That's because the Javelins were just not the appropriate level to face off against such a huge threat. So the game does have, like, I guess you would call it in-game rewards, in that, you know, as you play, you kind of see in the background some enemies that, you know, you really want to take on, but it's wiser to really build up your Javelin and keep going, and then you can progress a little bit more in the ability trees and keep building up your health, your damage, until you're at a level with your friends and your Javelin itself. Then you can go in and take on such big creatures. But there it is. You see that? That was the combo I was talking about right there. Those combo moves are so cool. I do want to play as the more mage-like Javelin. So, yeah, let me talk about a little bit the differences between the Javelins, of course. With the Ranger Javelin, he had a couple of moves, if I can remember all of them here, but you can see down in the lower right corner, each Javelin does get, you know, about 3 or 4 abilities. So the fourth ability, I guess you could say, is triggered by building up those combos and taking out enemies, and it would be considered the Javelin's ultimate move. So you can go in there and trigger this by holding down LB and RB on Xbox. In the case of the Ranger, it was this really cool lock-on system that was activated, and you can lock on to several targets at once, and then just rain down a fury of absolute carnage and fire down upon your enemy. I was also given you know, that freeze grenade, like I mentioned to you before, and then some sort of shock move, I think it was, that caused a mass amount of damage, especially if you work your combo into it. But yeah, some really cool stuff from this game. I was so impressed with the actual environment, as you can see here, just quite stunning. Now, one thing that Bioware did mention to us is that, and this is something they were really proud of, is their actual lore and story. They said this is no joke. This is not going to be some sort of lore and story that you know, you don't pay attention to. They really want players to be kind of invested into the lore and the story that will be on offer here for Anthem, and apparently it's going to be quite deep. You're going to want to really break it down for sure, and that's something I'm in particular really excited about, because I can kind of feel that this game is going to be that. You know, just from some of the cinematics that we did see, the game looks really impressive. Also, a lot of you guys are wondering about customization. Yeah, you can customize the hell out of your Javelin, of course, in Anthem. So a lot of this game is about, of course, going out there and customizing your Javelin in basically 2 parts, influencing you know, gameplay enhancements, getting the best weapons and gear, and then, of course, on the side of cosmetics, making your Javelin actually look like something that you would like to get into. And right there, you just saw one of the ultimate moves from, I think this is the Ranger class Javelin that I was speaking about earlier. So you can actually activate that while flying around. But yeah, back to customization. Customization is going to be apparently very extensive. You'll be able to basically choose the color of the Javelin that you want, as well as, you know, certain decals you can put it on there. Like one of the developers mentioned, you know, maybe he may not like, you know, a racing stripe down the center of his Javelin, but his friend might, and that's something you can actually apparently do in Anthem. So you can see some of the freedoms that you are granted with the actual customization is definitely most impressive indeed. Again, had an absolute blast with this one. I honestly can't wait to get my hands on some of these other classes. The class that I was really curious about also was that Interceptor. You don't get to see much of him or her. Again, you can play as male or female in this game. But he's the guy on the front cover that's kind of the green guy. Let me see if I can pop that up for you guys. So they did also loan me some really cool footage, of jumping into these javelins. There, of course, was the Colossus. And here's a look at, I believe that's the Ranger. And then, of course, you have, I think this is Storm. So this is the more Magician. And this is the Ranger I want to play with. This would be your Interceptor class. I just think he looks so cool. I mean, look at that. That looks pretty badass to me. I love the customization here, and apparently he's super quick, which is my gameplay style. But I'm a little bit worried that he might be a little bit too soft. He might break too easily. So we'll find out what happens there. But I guess, of course, if you want to try Anthem for the first time ever, you're going to want to hop in with the Ranger. He's going to be the most balanced for you. So they did mention that the Ranger class is definitely the absolute go-to class for beginning players in Anthem. But yeah, absolutely had a blast. And another thing I wanted to mention about the bosses, the big brain bug creature, I wish I could remember the exact terminology for these creatures, but the big creature we did face off against is I felt like it was moving around the environment a lot. It was crawling on the walls. It had really cool, unique attacks. It was sending its underlings after us. I felt like it wasn't just, a static thing where you're just hitting it over and over and over again. It was actually moving around the environment, which was super important to me personally. So I hope they continue that with every single boss in this game, is to keep them moving around the environment, keep it unpredictable, even crawled through like holes and disappeared at times and sent like swarms after us. So that was really, really cool. I loved it so freaking much. But yeah, stay tuned here. 2 open world games for more Anthem. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.